Hi, you all. Thanks for coming to the meeting, and thanks for jumping onto YouTube to watch it. I really appreciate it. Just in this time when we are limiting our visitors and limiting our contact, it didn't make any sense to have a meeting and have you all in the building when you don't need to be here. So that being said, I will do this again for the next one to schedule it and talk to you online, and what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to text me personally on my cell phone with just a text saying that you watched this video. It's really important that you stay here for the information about the COVID virus. I'm going to try to look at my camera instead of at the screen, so that it looks like I'm looking at you. So thank you. I will give you my cell phone number after the COVID virus updates. So without further ado, hi, thanks. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for showing up at work. Thanks for taking care of our residents. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much it's appreciated. So first of all, I want to say that we do have a policy and procedure manual for the COVID-19 virus. I will be putting the procedure guide in the wellness or down in the community next to the time clock in a binder for you to take a look at and to use. So without further ado, we have procedures and policies about move-ins, about resident safety and health, about their screening, about team members, their screening and exposure, and guidelines about all of that stuff. Definition of essential visitors, who they are, the guidelines for them, and what we do in the front office before they get down there, about hiring, about tours, about dining, about all of those activities. So the first thing that you need to know is that our guidelines we're basing all of our guidelines on the Center for Disease Control regulations or guidelines, their recommendations. So they may be different, hopefully more stringent than some of the ones that are, just various cities and towns and things. We're doing everything we can to keep you, our staff, our residents, and everyone safe during this time. So COVID-19 is a respiratory illness that's spread person to person. The virus is a novel coronavirus, and it was first identified in December of 2019. So when it spreads from someone who is actively sick with the virus, and it's droplet. So if someone coughs or sneezes, the droplets, you can either breathe them in or they can land on surfaces just like a cold or just like a flu. You can pick that up by touching your face, and not washing your hands. The most effective thing to do is to wash your hands. So we need you to just be aware. Disinfecting and washing your hands are the two most important things you can do. And please, please don't think you're using too much soap or too many hand sanitizers. Just do it. It should just become a routine that as soon as you are leaving a resident room, you should stop in their bathroom, wash their hands. We put those nice paper towel dispensers in there. Use them, we can always find more paper towels, and we want you to stay safe. So wash your hands as you're coming out of a resident room. That'll be great. So just so you know, I wanted to go over the employee screening. So we have daily screening, and you've seen the forms. We're going to put those in a more secure place so that your personal information is not being shared amongst everybody on the team. Of course, if you're going to share your information, that's up to you, but we're trying to safeguard your personal information. So there will be one person who is designated to document your answers on the form, so you don't see everybody else's answers on the form, and take your temperature. So that needs to happen as soon as you come into the building. So take the temperature, talk to your supervisor or manager, me. You can call me if you want to, and let us know. If you are living with someone who is active with COVID-19, there are specific guidelines for that. If you know that you've come in contact with someone, there are specific guidelines for that. And so I'll go over those. So daily screening, the temperature is taken when you first arrive, you answer the screening questions, and then you can work. There is a shortage of masks nationally. We do have access to a few washable masks that we'll be making available to you. So if you have had contact with someone with symptoms or someone who has been tested or presumed positive for COVID, then you can come to work. CDC guidelines say you can come to work. If we excluded everyone who may have been in contact with someone, we would have no one in the building. So you can come to work. We're asking that if you have had contact with someone that you know is positive, that you wear a mask while you're at work and you maintain a social distance from your co-workers, so you can provide direct care. And of course, you can't stay 6 feet away if you're going to be changing someone's brief, but wear a mask, and that's to prevent, if you cough or sneeze, spreading that to someone else. Wash your hands frequently. And if someone tests positive or has a fever on that screening form, then they are required to remain home in self-quarantine until they're cleared to come back to work. So that's in the procedures. I'll review that and update you on that. So far, we can say that no one has tested positive in our community. No one has shown any signs or symptoms. And so we're all presumably good right now. So if you test positive, then you will have to remain at home in quarantine for the amount of time, at least, 4 days after you're completely asymptomatic. And those are in the policies. And if you test positive, we'll make sure you know what that is. So if we have someone who tests positive or is put on quarantine at home because they're presumed positive, then we have resources available to help with that. The good news is Compass has included all of their communities. All of our staff who've been here for 30 days are eligible for FMLA if it's a COVID-related leave of absence. So then you would be eligible for FMLA, your job would be protected, and then the assistance that the federal government came up with, your income is going to be protected as well. So if you think you're sick, better to find out and be safe than not. So if you're not showing symptoms, though, we need you here. And if you're concerned, wear a mask so that you don't inadvertently infect someone else. So there's that. Only essential visitors. So pharmacy, nurses, hospice people, behavioral health professionals, all of those people are able to be here, and our essential services. So vendors who are providing our laundry soap, our hand sanitizers, our food, those people can come in. Every person who comes inside the building is screened. That's it. You're coming in, we're taking your temperature. And if you have a fever, you're going. Don't come and stay unless, just don't. So there's that. Um, Touring, all of our tours are being done by virtual tours. We have pictures and videos of the room in the courtyard that we're showing to people. And there are special screening guidelines for potential residents. So you don't need to participate in that necessarily. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that. What I do want to say is that we are still hiring, and it's going to be working much like an essential visitor. Dining, we really want to keep, distance between our residents. We don't want large groups of people sitting together. Our activities, we want to have space between people, 6 feet of space if at all possible. And I know with our residents in particular, that's very hard. They are not required to eat in their room, but we are trying to keep them spread out during meals. If we do get a confirmed case of COVID-19 in our community, everyone will be fed in their room. It's going to be a lot of work, but we'll be keeping people separate. If someone tests positive among our residents, what we're going to do is we will isolate them in their room. They'll be kept in their room. If we end up having more than one case, then our plan is to move them into a room together so that we don't have someone, with someone who's not infected sharing the room. And they'll be addressed in isolation. You'll have masks, you'll have gowns, you'll be able to protect yourself when you go in. Ideally, what we'll do is we will provide care to our healthy residents first, and then after they're fed and taken care of, then we can take care of the folks who have the infection, if they have a current infection. We are screening all of our residents every day. Every day you're taking temperatures, and that is in ECP. Tina has already put it on the cares for us, so that's being taken care of. If someone leaves and comes back, we need to do alert charting. So we need to be charting their temperature, whether or not they have a cough, whether or not they have a runny nose. Any of those symptoms, any and all symptoms should be reported, and that happens for 14 days. So we can, be sure that they're okay. We don't have to isolate them if they come back. If they go to the hospital and they're positive for COVID-19, or if they're presumed positive, which means that they've taken the test and the results aren't back, we will keep them in isolation at that point. But if they just go out to the doctor's office for some reason, something they can't have done here, we'll just screen them. If they come back positive, or if they come back presumed, 14 days. Alert charting. All right. Of course, if that happens, we'll be notifying the health department, the Department of Health Services, our administrator, their family, their doctor, everything we can to make sure that it's taken care of. So that's an awful lot of information, very quick. I feel like I've just been talk. So I'm going to take a breath and let that sink in. So what I have to say to you is, we are doing everything we can according to the CDC guidelines. We are being updated. Daily by our corporate office. I have personal alerts on my cell phone. So I know when there's a change in procedures or anything that we need to incorporate. I'm going to use this process of creating a Zoom meeting and having you notified through text that you can watch it on YouTube. So now I'm giving you my phone number now so that you can text me and tell me that you have watched this video, and I will mark you as having attended this meeting. So my cell phone, please text, yes, I was there. Yes, I was there, to 520-904 0774. Now, onto the fun stuff. We decided since our residents don't have visitors coming in, we need to do something to make it fun. So every Friday, we're going to have a spirit day type activity or a theme. So this Friday, on the 27th, it's going to be Crazy Hat or Hair Day. So go to it. I mean, who knows what? I may come in bald, you never know. But anyway, Funny Hair or Hat Day is this Friday. And next Friday, we'll have another theme. Watch for details. We'll put up a poster in the break room and by the time clock. Tuesday next week, we're going to be planting our spring planting. So we'll have flowers for the residents to plant in the flower beds and veggies for the raised bed garden. So that'll be fun. And we're planning a picnic lunch on Wednesday. So, something that people could go sit on the benches outside, eat a sandwich for lunch, something that will make it a little more fun. There are no work anniversaries in March. I don't know how that happened, but there aren't. And so now we have, though, April's coming up, and we're going to have in April, Kat has a TB test done. Hopefully she'll get that done. And CPR, Michael is due for CPR. And I'm applying to get a waiver because all the CPR classes are canceled. But we're going to have you go online and get it, Michael, and then we'll catch up on that later. All right, what else? If you have any questions about COVID-19, the procedures, what's in place, what our policies are, any of that, talk to Tina or Dawn or myself. We are the three. And I don't mind if you call me to talk to me. I don't mind if you come up to the office to talk to me. Just talk to us. What's important to know is that our time and attendance policies have not changed because of COVID-19. So if you're out, if you call off sick, please call off and give us enough time to cover your shift at all possible. If you are out of work for more than 3 days, you will need to bring a doctor's note saying, you were eligible to take that much time or it was necessary for you to take that much time. And of course, just keep being the great people that you are and taking such great care of our residents. I think I will leave it there and not try to add anything more. Very, very rushed presentation, but I will send reminders this way more frequently. Now that I've discovered it, we're going to use it. So I really appreciate you taking the time. And again, please text me and say I was there at 520-904-0774. Thank you so much. And I'll probably get better at looking at the camera instead of the screen. Have a great week. Have a great month. And we'll see you before then, but for the next meeting, probably virtual meeting on the 10th as well. All right. Thank you guys so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.